All right, are we recording? Sweet. So, yeah, I'm happy that my phone's actually recording for once. Every time I've tried to record a video in the last week, it always pops up saying not enough storage, unable to capture media, which none of that makes sense because my phone is a 128 gigabyte phone and I have at least 30 gigs free, if not more. And I always make sure to like clear out my storage and check it before I record to make sure I have enough. So there's definitely enough. So I don't know why it's been giving me problems, but anyway, as you guys saw from the title, I have beaten 30 games so far this year. Actually, I think it may be 31. Yeah, it's actually 31 now because I just beat another game last night. Yeah, I've beaten 2 games this month already, and at the time of me recording this, it is March 3rd. So I don't know off the top of my head all of the games that I beat. There will be a thing in the description with like just a list of all the games I beat if you guys are interested in seeing what all of them were. I keep track of all the games that I beat in my phone in my notes app, but as I just told you guys, I use my phone to record. But off the top of my head, I know I beat Last of Us 2 last month, Darksiders, Red Faction. There was a couple other ones. Like I said, there will be a huge list down below. And my total sum is like 31 games so far this year. And it's been really nice getting to knock out my backlog. I've just been going back because I've had this backlog for so long. Any other gamers out there like me that love narrative based games or just good games in general, you're going to build up a backlog, whether it's through Steam sales, PSN sales, Xbox sales, or just, games coming out that you really want to try, but you just don't get a chance to, whether it's money or time or whatever. But now that I've obviously, been in recovery for the last couple months and I'm unable to really do anything else besides just kind of sit in my room, you know what I mean? Just because my body is still just repairing and I'm very, very out of it still. Yeah, it's been nice getting to knock out my backlog, man. Last year, towards the tail end of the year, I really knocked out a lot of games. Like, I was going basically the same pace as I am now, 10 to 15 games a month. And so far this year, I'm keeping with that pace. 15 games in January, 14 games in February, which makes sense. It was a shorter month. And so far, two or three games beaten so far this year. I just started another one this morning. That being Homefront The Revolution. Let me talk about Homefront The Revolution real quick. Let's just go over to that real quick. If you're unfamiliar with the game, it's essentially it's one of those games that got crapped on a lot. I can think of a bunch of other ones that got crapped on in recent years. Anthem, Cyberpunk, Battlefield 2042, whatever. It was one of those situations. Buggy launch, quote unquote crappy game and everything like that. But going back to the game now in 2022 and actually playing it, it's not that bad. The best way I could describe it is like Far Cry in beta phase and in an urban setting. And what I mean by that is it's like it feels a lot like the modern Far Cry games, but it feels way less polished. Like animations are kind of janky, voice acting's hit or miss. The gameplay and gunplay is actually worse than Far Cry somehow because honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of gunplay in the Far Cry games. Like, I don't know, it's always just felt a little weird to me. I mean, in the more recent ones like Far Cry 5 and 6, I mean, it did start to feel a little bit better, but for me, it always felt, I don't know what it is. It's like kind of stiff, I guess. I don't know. Some games really have a problem with getting their shooting down right. Like 2042, the guns have like no punch to them, and the Far Cry games in general for me, they've always felt kind of stiff. There's only been a handful of shooters I've ever seen that have really gotten it right. I mean, just off the top of my head, like Call of Duty, Halo. Destiny does pretty good with their gunplay and stuff like that. Gears of War. But yeah, I don't know. It's a decent game, I guess. The gameplay is decent enough. I'm trying to think of how to explain it because like this is one of those games where I kind of have to stand my ground a little bit, or I feel like I have to when I'm defending it because in terms of gameplay and stuff, it's actually not that bad. When it comes to gunplay though, no. But everything else about the gameplay is actually good. Like the parkouring sections, like there's like these outposts, obviously like every other Far Cry clone or Assassin's Creed clone, you got outposts you have to capture, right? And you got these parkour sections where there will be like two buildings. You gotta like jump up on a dumpster here, climb up onto the scaffolding here, jump across, get over to this other like, high rise thing that construction workers use. And then you gotta like spin around, shoot an explosive barrel to get this one thing to fall over. And then you jump to another rooftop. Like it's actually pretty cool. And those are the sections that I like. You got those. There's a bunch of different stuff you can craft. You got on the fly customization. You'll be holding a gun and you can like take the barrel off your pistol, put on another one that makes it an SMG, remove the mags and shit. You got like battle rifles you can turn into like rocket launchers and shit. Like it's really, really cool. Again, though, it's just like everything about the gameplay is cool. It's just like combat and gunplay. I don't know what it is. And they have this disgusting screen shake. Oh my god! Every time you shoot your gun, your screen just it's like half giving me a seizure every time I'm like trying to play. Like seriously, like start to hurt my head after a bit. That's why in the game I've only been using the battle rifle and the pistol because they're single shot weapons. Therefore, they don't really shake the screen at all. And another thing, there was bad optimization with the controls for console. The sensitivity when you're looking around normally is fine, but most FPS games, when you ADS, will slow down or have like a multiplier of like times 0.25 or whatever for when you're aiming, so it's a bit slower. However, that game, they don't have a separate sensitivity for ADS. It's all the same. So the speed you're looking at when you move around, usually in FPS games, they'd slow it down. This one, no. So even if you just slightly tap your right stick, you're flying all over the place. And if you try to turn down your normal sensitivity, well, then when you're not ADS, then you're just looking around very, very slowly. So you can't win. You basically either just gotta hip fire or you gotta just get used to it. And I don't know. I've been going on about Homefront for a while now, but it's a game that's confusing me, man. I'm really passionate about my damn games because I spend a lot of time with them, obviously. So whenever there's a game that whoa, voice crack, that wasn't cool. Anyway, whenever there's a game that I'm really like confused on or have mixed feelings about, I really go in depth because like I really want to love it. Obviously, if I'm dumping all these hours into it, I really want to love it, but I can't ignore the bad stuff either. So you guys let me know down below. Have you guys ever played Homefront The Revolution? What's your experience with it? Actually, I have an even better question. If you, most of you probably haven't even ever touched Homefront, so if you haven't played it, whatever. I have another question for you guys then. If you haven't played Homefront, what is your standpoint on the Far Cry games or Far Cry type games? Are they getting too samey for you? Are you bored of the old formula of I'll post here, go capture that, go kill these guys, go to new zone, repeat? Like, is that stuff? Do you guys enjoy that loop, or is it getting like draining for you guys? Because for me personally, after playing a couple Assassin's Creed games, beating a couple of the Far Cry games, and now Homefront, I can say that the formula does get a little repetitive, and it is a little bland, but it hasn't drained me out yet. Despite all the games I played with those features, even some Sony exclusives are, a little whatever about it. Like, even them are a little guilty. Like, Horizon Zero Dawn had some of those aspects where you had to, like, climb the tall necks or whatever, but at least that was kind of innovative. But I don't know. I'm not completely burned on it yet. But you guys let me know. What's your standpoint on games like that? But I don't know. That's where I'll wrap it up. Just random thoughts. Yeah, I beat 30 games last month or this year so far. I'll leave all those in the description. Those are my thoughts on Homefront. And yeah, that's that. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow at 7 with like a normal type of gaming video. I just felt like hopping on here and just kind of talking about games. I don't know. I get in those moods where I just feel like talking and spilling my guts about games I've been playing and stuff. But yeah. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Oh, and as always, a shout out to the Patrons, Karma's Fave, Grandma, and Lil Booty Tap. That's that. See you guys tomorrow. Peace. Oh my god. Every time I do these videos, I cannot hit the end button. Come on. There we go.